What's going on, guys? Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions on what type of V-mount batteries I use. And today we're just going to do a quick, brief talk about V-mount batteries and what I use to power my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So the first battery that I have here is my Pro X, and I got it years ago. I ended up buying a package that included the Blackmagic production camera 4K and this particular battery. And it's been a workhorse for at least 5 years, 4 to 5 years. It is a 77-watt battery, and I still use it to this day. I have a pair of them. I still use it to this day for lights or for my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Now, with this 77-watt camera with a monitor, and I run the FilWorld 570, with those two items, I typically get close to 3 hours, maybe a little bit more with this particular battery. Now, pros and cons to this battery is it has one D-tap port on the side. And that's really about it. I mean, you have some adapter screws so you can mount it different ways if you need to. However, I rarely use that because I'm usually popping it into a V-mount adapter. But, you know, it at the time was, a great purchase for me. Still to this day, they sell for around $239 on B&H, and they're a solid battery. If you need a company that you're worried about quality and you're worried about the battery lasting you, this is probably a great purchase. It's a solid battery. Like I said, it's by a reputable company, and it's probably the most expensive battery that I own, even though it's the smallest as far as capacity. It's just a solid brand, and that's, some people are diehard solid brand purchasing people. They got to buy Canon lenses. They got to buy Nikon lenses. They don't trust other brands, and they want the brand. It's just solid, and this would be that in my lineup of 3 V-mount batteries. Next, I have the Soonwell V-mount battery. Model number on this one is the B98V. This is a new version that just came out, and a company that I am just now getting familiar with. They actually asked me to test their battery, and I had a chance to spend about a month with it. This right here is a 98-watt battery, so it's more powerful than the previous battery I just showed you for a lot less on the price. It's about $188 at the time of this video, as seen on Amazon. And there are a few extra caveats about this particular battery that I like. With this one, you're getting twin D-taps up top, so that is perfect if you want to run multiple monitors or something where you need not only the battery to be connected in the V-mount to power your camera, but you also get 2 more D-taps on the top. Now listen, I run a V-mount adapter that also has D-taps. So with a battery like this, I'm getting the 3 that's coming out that mount plus 2 additional ones, and there's more. You also get a USB adapter as well, so you can charge your phone or run anything that runs off USB. Now, you would be surprised because I have a lot of camera gear that can be powered from USB. Everything from, let's say, an H4n to when I used to have the Blackmagic production cameras, they were not HDMI, they were only SDI, so I would run a converter so I can run it to a regular HDMI monitor, and I would run that from USB power. I wish I had something like this at the time, and size wise it's really little. All of them have the adapter on the side so you can see how much battery life is remaining, and it's a lot smaller than the Pro X, though it offers more battery. Again, this is a 98-watt, that's a 77-watt. With this particular battery, and this is running the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera as well as a monitor, the FilWorld, I get close to maybe 4.5 hours out of the camera. And like I said, I run mine with the highest settings. I like my screen as bright as it can be. I get about 4.5 hours out of this little battery. So that's something to keep in mind before you go and, you know, buy a ton of V-mount batteries. This battery kicks butt. When it comes to size, this is the biggest V-mount I got. It's by a company called Max Oak. This is 177 watts. So it is almost like having the other two batteries combined into one big old brick. Now, there are some things you need to know about this battery because this battery is fairly inexpensive. You know, at the time of this video, it goes for around $199. So for that price, you get almost the size of the last two batteries combined. It is big. It has D-taps on the side as well as one USB port. It is a big brick of a light. And you can, you know, check your charge on the side. I use these to power a lot of lights. I use a lot of LS1s, a lot of light storms, 1Ks, and they need a big battery, and I can get a lot of time powering that big old light with this big old battery. For the price, this is probably your best bang for the buck as far as battery power. And I've used them and dropped them and kicked them and put them through all kind of hell, and they still work perfectly. So that's pretty much my battery lineup that I use when it comes to powering the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. One very important thing you need to know when you purchase these V-mount batteries. This particular one and that particular one comes with a charger. The one in the middle does not. Now, they all charge the same. You plug the cable into the D-tap, plug it into the wall, and it charges. But keep that in mind when you make a purchase. If you purchase the one in the middle, it will not come with a charger. The ones on the outside do. So that's something to keep in mind when you're making a purchase. You do not want a V-mount battery if you don't have a charger. Now, don't get me wrong, they sell, you know, external chargers that charge a whole lot faster than plugging it through the D-tap. And, you know, that's the way to go if you're on set and you got 3 batteries that you're cycling through all day. And you want to charge them quickly, you can buy one of those chargers that works. But if you're, you know, if you don't got a ton of money to spend right now and you want to start with one, keep that in mind when you make your purchase. All right, guys, I will post links to all 3 in the description. The Pro X is a little bit harder to find because it's a little older. However, the Soonwell is still available, and the other one is available as well. And like I said, the big thing to keep in mind is they all have D-tap adapters or ports on them. Some just have multiple. The Soonwell has multiple, has 2, and it has the USB port. The particular one on the right only has 1 of a USB port and 1 D-tap. That may be big if you have a standard V-mount that just snaps on. It doesn't power anything, but it holds the V-mount, and you want to run 2 D-tap cables to your devices to power your devices. That is a big thing to understand and know when you're making a purchase. All right, guys, if you have any questions, post them in the comments. Let's talk about these batteries. If you've used them, let's talk about your experience with them. They've all been super solid for me, and I have put them through hell. They've all been caught in the rain. They've all been kicked around, dropped around, traveled, and they have held up. I mean, look at the wear and tear on the one on the right. You know, they've all held up fairly perfectly, and they have been perfect investments as far as powering my cameras. And I like this particular route compared to going with an LP6 because I know that whatever camera I purchase in the future will have a V-mount adapter, or I can power it via V-mount. So I'm not running out buying 50 batteries every time I want a new camera. So that's important to me. All right, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.